but they're full of commitment to those kids. Those kids are their lives, you know, and I'll tell you how I experienced that recently. Came home one night and, you know, there was a stack of mail sitting on the island, and so I start going through it. And, you know, in this age of the internet, like, you know, and you'll get out of here and you can realize it if you care to, you find my home address in, like, you know, 45 seconds, you know, on the internet. And so I get lots of people now who write me at home. I am not inviting you to do that. But I get lots of people, right? Mary Pat, who, yeah, look, she's going, oh God, no, right? But it happens. And so I'm going through stuff, and some stuff you could just tell right in the beginning, it's kind of like work related, and so I just take that envelope and I put it in my briefcase to bring down to the office the next day. But this one, I didn't recognize the return name on the address, but it looked like it was the handwriting of an elderly person. And I don't know what it was that made me open it, but I opened it. I opened it and I started reading it. And the woman now lived in Tennessee, Georgia. It was one of the southern states. So it lives in Georgia. And she's right, dear Mr. Christie, I'm not sure if this is the same person, but I think it is. She said, I remember a little boy who walked into my class, my kindergarten class at 5 years old. And he was a little bit tall, a little stocky. Did she say pudgy? Thank you, honey. So glad to have the First Lady here. Dark hair. He came into my classroom, and I knew right away that he was special. And I remember the way he would lead our class in the flag salute. I remembered how he liked to read out loud to the other children. And I remember that he used to help me after school to clean up afterwards. And she said, I don't know if this is the same Chris Christie that I had in my kindergarten class at the Squiretown School in 1967. But if it is, and you really are the governor of New Jersey, I just want to tell you, I was proud of you then, and I'm proud of you now. Now, there's a teacher who had me in her classroom 43 years ago. 43 years ago. I don't think it was about me. That's the point. I think it's about her. And I think that there were probably a lot of kids that she had over that course of time who are still 43 years later in her memory because she invested so much of her life and herself in us. And so, you know, who are great teachers? You know, I loved her then. I remember her. I remember walking into her class the first day, and when my mother dropped me off, crying like crazy because I didn't want to stay. I want to go home with Mom. I didn't want to stay. And she had a great class. And as I went up in that elementary school, everybody always wanted to have her. She was not married at the time. That's why I didn't recognize the name. It was Miss Lukemeyer. I remember Miss Lukemeyer like it was yesterday. And now her last name is Welch, and she's living in Georgia. Those are great teachers. And we need to reward those people. And I said at this event we had earlier this week that I think every one of those great teachers that Jeff described, I think parents in most neighborhoods would be willing to carry those teachers on their shoulders to school every day if they knew that those teachers could be in front of their children in their classroom teaching them.